this video, we're going to show you how to make these frogs for the Speckled Frog song and finger play with children. It's just so fun, and the pattern is free on our website. And it also comes with a log to carry your frogs in, and the log becomes part of the stage. So you can set the frogs up on the log, and then when one jumps into the pool, they can be hidden up under, and you can continue with your song. Anyway, this is just a really fun thing for kids, and I hope this video helps you. Now with the eyes, we're going to whip stitch around the iris, or the color that you've chosen, and try to keep the stitches perpendicular to the outer edge of that circle. And then we'll do the pupil, and the same thing is done with matching thread. Now, after stacking our eyes with the iris and the pupil, we place our eye on the where they fit onto our puppet face. Then with white embroidery floss, just 2 strands, we're going to whip stitch from here to here. Okay, just the lower part, because the top part will be our eyelids. Okay, for each puppet there is this disc shape, and each puppet will need 2, and it's cut out on the fold, so the pattern actually looks like a half of a disc. And then you're going to place it on the fold, and then you're going to refold it, and with matching thread knotted, just come up so that the knot is hidden underneath, and we're going to blanket stitch across this rounded part. And all that is to, when you make a stitch, before you bring it down tight, you go through the thread, you loop it through, and then the thread, that little loop holds my stitch perpendicular to the edge, and it will look really cool. I can whip stitch when it's flat on a face like that, and or the eye, and I can keep it perpendicular. But once it's floating like this, then I need to blanket stitch, and I'll blanket stitch up and around the puppets for that reason. So just come up, and then before it loops over and stitches, we'll put the needle through like that, and it just makes a really cool edge. So each puppet needs 2 of these, okay? And I'm going to start by rounding 1 to make this part of his mouth, and I'll show you that. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention when you're doing the blanket stitch is you want equal depth on each stitch and pretty equal spread on those stitches. And that just looks cool. And you could zigzag any of this on the sewing machine, make it fast, and that's fine too, but I just love the look of that. It just makes the puppets look really rich. Now, I'm going to bend that top part of the mouth, and it does cover the eyes, okay? And you want it so that it bends enough that you're going to be able to stitch around this puppet and not run into the mouth. And you can pin it to hold it if you want. Now, I don't have to be careful with these stitches because I already have this really pretty stitch going on. And so the purpose of the stitch to attach to the mouth is really just that, just to attach it. Doesn't have to be pretty, and it doesn't have to be that visible. So I can come along. I want it more like an invisible stitch. So when I come in, it's going to be right where this stitch comes out. Then I'm going to move forward and just catch the edge of that mouth. Okay, because it always, like I said, it already has that pretty stitch. But pretty easy, actually. That's why I pre-did those stitches, because it's really hard to do neat stitches and hold it in this arc that gives it the dimension of the mouth. Okay, see how cool that is? Really easy just to catch the edge and make it secure, but I don't have to worry about how pretty it is. Now I might do several stitches here on the corner of the mouth, just in case, you know, little kids' fingers are going to go in that mouth and maybe pull it a little bit. So I want that really secure. So just go several stitches on the corner. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. But the cool thing is you overlap the bottom, and that gives them the smile. See, up like that. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to do the same thing. Just catch the edge and secure it. Okay? Then we'll show you how to put the tongue in it. Now I've blanket stitched around a double layer of felt for the tongue just to make it a little stronger. And it's pretty easy to bend the mouth open and then just whip stitch the tongue to the back of the throat. And I do this after the mouth is on just for placement, so I know I've got it right where I want it. Now as the song goes, he's eating the most delicious bugs, so I've got a pom-pom. I'm going to sew it on to his tongue. And then I'm just going to loop some embroidery floss for the little wings, and he'll look like a bug. Okay, here you can see the stages. I've put the little cross stitches with embroidery floss to make the speckles on the frog. Here, there are two, the back and the front. Here, I've blanket stitched around, sliding in the eyelids and coming around with my green. And I also blanket stitched the opening to give it strength. Of course, here the legs are on and the little fly is at it. Now, to make these legs that we're going to loop, we take the piece of felt that was the size in our pattern, and we're going to fold it like in thirds. So this half comes over to about a third, and this half comes over, you know, not right to the edge, but right there. And then with my embroidery floss and knotted at the end, I'm just going to go down this raw edge and just pick up this one layer so it doesn't go through onto the back. Okay, and then I just go all the way to the end of that leg. Now you could use like a felt glue if you want. That would work too. But that's how I've made the leg. And then when I loop it, the part that is sewn is on the inside, like that. And I'll show you how to put that on the frog. And then I'm going to put it along this side, and with the embroidery floss and this open, because I don't want to close off the finger puppet part, I'm going to whip stitch that leg on, and I'm going to do like quite a few stitches to make sure that that little knee is not going to move. Okay, like that. Then I like to tack the leg here at the body just so it doesn't flip forward. It'll stay up. Okay, and I'll show you how the foot is also double felt, and I've blanket stitched all the way around. And then I'm going to pinch it together like that at the straight edge, and I'm going to just put it on the knee or the leg like that. And then I'm just going to make sure it's attached in that shape so that it's it'll look pinched when it's on. And just whip stitch that onto the leg so that it's not going to move. It's really going to be attached well. Kind of do it in that shape like that. Just come around. Now if I really want it to like stay in that pinch shape, I can come to the back and sew it across like that. And then there's the finger puppet. I just do a small pom-pom with, I used about 5 strands of the embroidery floss and just did 2 loops. And that is how we finish our frog. And it turns out so cute. When you will want to watch our other video for how to make the log. And hope this helped you. The pattern is free on our website.